This is good news on HuffPost Live, sponsored by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're watching HuffPost Live. I'm Josh Sipps, and this conversation is sponsored by State Farm. 3 years ago, then 8-year-old Kylie Simonds was diagnosed with a rare childhood cancer that affects bone and soft tissue. After 46 weeks of chemotherapy, radiation treatment and surgeries, she got a positive prognosis from doctors, and she's been healthy ever since. Now, Kylie wants to make life easier for other cancer sufferers by inventing a chemotherapy backpack. Kylie and her mum, Kelly, join us now. Thanks so much for being here, you two.
Thanks for having us.
Now, how did this start? This began as a school assignment, right? What was the assignment?
Well, it was to invent something for an everyday problem.
Mm-hmm. And you thought to yourself, I have an everyday problem.
Yes.
And why this? What was the problem? Talk to us about the process of going through chemo that makes it so inconvenient.
Well, it was a lot because of the IV poles, and they were really big and bulky and hard to push around, and you'd always get tangled up in the wires or trip over them. So I thought of how that affects kids every day. So I thought of this.
Let's take a look at this. So talk me through this. How did you even begin to put it together?
Well, first we had to get a small backpack for kids, and then we had to weld like some metal bars together, and you just take the IV bag and you put it in here, and this is like all the wires that go through the machine. Mm-hmm. But when we have the real prototype, it will be actually inside it, and then there's going to be a flap so you can go in and just control it easily.
How long does each session take? How long do you have to wear it for?
Well, it depends on what you have, and for some people it could be 6 hours a day.
And ordinarily, so you had to go through sessions where it would be 6 hours and you'd have to have this big, ridiculous pole when it could have just been in a backpack in the first place.
Yes.
Wait, it's so simple, I almost wonder why someone hasn't thought of it before.
Yeah, that's it all. Yes, that's it all.
Basically, probably because it's not a huge moneymaker.
Well, we'll see about that. Maybe you'll be coming back in a year's time as entrepreneurs rolling in the cash. How did, I know that your dad helped you out with this, right?
Yes,
did he play a pivotal role?
He did. He helped with a lot, and he actually welded them because I'm too young. I might burn myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not good to be using welding equipment at your age, probably. No. So tell us about the diagnosis and what happened. I mean, what happened to the family? I can only imagine what receiving that kind of news does to your routine.
It was out of left field. She had a sore throat one day, and 2 weeks later she was having surgery, and they said they had to remove something that was in the back of her throat. So they did the surgery, and then the doctor comes and sits down with you and says, it's not good news. And then from there it was oncologists and scans, MRIs, CAT scans, bone scans, PET scans, CT scans, tons of blood work. And then we went and met with the oncologist, and he gave us the treatment plan. And it was 46 weeks of chemo, 4 weeks of radiation.
How were you feeling at the time, Kylie?
Well, I was definitely shocked, and I didn't really know what was happening because I was only 8. So I really didn't understand what was happening.
Did it hurt?
Well, yeah, it did. Having surgery, yes, it really hurt. Afterwards, I was in bed for 3 days.
How did you and your husband sort of keep Kylie's spirits up during that time? How do you do that?
We kind of just treated her and her brother and sister exactly the way we did before. She still had to do chores, she still had to go to school, she still had to behave the same way she would have before. We kind of treated her just like a regular kid rather than her being sick.
Are there support systems? Did you reach out to any groups for help?
There is. There's tons of different things that you can reach out to. We had met a family that had a daughter that was diagnosed with the same type of cancer at the same age, and they lived less than a mile from us. So they were a huge support for us. Just being able to talk to a parent who's been through what we had been through, and that was probably the biggest. I mean, and of course, our family and our friends, they were big supports too. We had a good support system.
So Now, why the Hello Kitty, I have to ask? Is it only, because I'm sure that there are boys out there who have cancer who are going to want this, and they're not going to want a Hello Kitty backpack.
Well, I like Hello Kitty, and I saw this, and I was like, this is awesome, and I had to get it. But they'll be customizable for boys and girls, so there could be Superman or sports, football. Or for girls, it doesn't have to be Hello Kitty either. It could be anything. Did you
have any specific people in mind when you were designing this?
Well, I thought of all my friends that have cancer and how they had to suffer through cancer too, like I did.
Are they friends who you made in hospital?
Yes, they are.
How are they doing?
Well, they're doing good now.
Great. So you launched a GoFundMe page, right, to raise money for this? And some good news.
She reached her goal.
Of $50,000?
Yes.
That's huge. So what happens now?
Well, now we're kind of looking for different companies that can help us get the IV medical aspect of it done, and because that'll be one part, and then the other part will be customizing a backpack around the IVs so that we can hopefully get these donated to hospitals and camps. Kylie goes to a couple of awesome camps here in Connecticut that treat kids with serious illnesses and cancer. And that's her main goal. She'd love to see them donated to camps so that the kids who are receiving chemotherapy at camp, they don't have to sit in the infirmary all day. They can still enjoy camp activities.
Yeah. Do you have any advice to other kids who might be in the situation that you were in about generally how to get through it and how to deal with it?
Well, I think to definitely never give up and never forget your dreams. Just keep holding on.
What are your dreams? What would you like to do when you grow up?
Well, I want to be a fashion designer.
Cool. Well, you're on your way there. It's a pretty sexy looking backpack. Who are your role models? Who do you look up to in the fashion industry? Do you have people who you admire?
Louis Vuitton.
Perfect, of course. Wow. Talk about setting your sights high and classy. I found a couple of tweets as well about you. Kelly Thomas says, as the mother of a 2-year-old fighting cancer and fighting stage 3 breast cancer myself, thank you. And look at that, Chelsea Clinton. This girl's fight against cancer led her to design a portable chemotherapy backpack, and she retweeted HuffPost good news there. I wonder what's next. What's next for you guys?
Right now, we're just crazy working on getting this thing made. You know, we have to get the actual working prototype done by May. So right now she has a provisional patent, but we have 1 year from when we made the provisional patent to get the actual patent. So that's what we're working on, trying to find different companies and we're doing all the research on all the different kinds of IVs that are out there.
Yeah.
So that we can design something that will fit different kinds of IVs, different sizes, so that hospitals don't actually have to buy the whole IV pump. They can just buy the backpacks and their IVs will fit right in them.
Great. How do you do all this and also go to school?
With a lot of help from Mom and Dad.
Yes, a lot of help from them.
It seems really busy. I remember school. It's tough. It's not easy.
Yes, it's very hard, especially math.
What's your favorite subject?
Science.
Oh, that's great. Of course, logical. I want to take a look at a few comments. As people watch this, they comment online. Boring File Clerk says, she's a brave kid, a smart kid, very glad she overcame this. No child should have to go through this. Rex says, this is awesome. Anytime anyone wants to complain about their lot in life, think of this little girl. You'll have it easy compared to her, and she still has the desire to get up and live and improve her life 10 times more than any of us. What's your ultimate vision for this? Do you imagine this rolling out all over the world, hospitals everywhere? How big can it go?
Well, I definitely want it to be in the camps, but I want it to be in hospitals all over the world, all over the country, so all the kids that want something like this can have something.
It's great. Thank you so much for stopping by. Congratulations. You're really inspiring.
Thank you for having us.
For more information on how you can help Kylie and her project, check out her GoFundMe page. That's in the links below in the resource well. Stay tuned for plenty more conversations coming up right here on HuffPost Live.